Hello everyone, it's Infinity Gamer here, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how close combat works in Infinity's Code 1 rule system. Now, because close combat can get quite complicated, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the basics of how it works, how you get into it, how you resolve conflict, and then I'm going to scale up to more complicated things, like what happens when you're fighting with a model that has martial arts level 3 or 4, or if they've got a close combat value that's over 20. So if you already understand the basics and you just want to get to the more complex stuff, either skip ahead or go to part 2, as that's going to cover most of the advanced stuff. This video is going to be very much the basics. So the models that I'm going to be using to demo this are going to be a Combined Army Nox Trooper versus an O12 Kappa. I'm then going to use an O12 Delta to tackle a Shasvasti Mentor, and then I'm going to use an O12 Hippolyta to go against a Caliban. So as you can see, we're going to go from really basic stuff up to quite complicated. So we're going to start off with understanding how you get into close combat. So it's relatively simple. You move into close combat. So you would typically spend your order, your regular order, and you would move towards your enemy. Now, there are a couple of rules about how you actually get into an engaged state, which is the state you need to be in order to have a close combat battle. So you understand that each model has its own silhouette. If you don't understand that, I'll link up to my Code 1 Quick Start Rules Explainer, which goes into that a bit more. But so long as your two cylinders are touching, you are in an engaged state. So, unlike some games where it specifically says you've got to be in base-to-base contact, you don't have to with Infinity. So, something can be up on a slight level, like this Nox Trooper on the stairs. This Kappa can get to the bottom of the stairs, and so long as their two cylinders are touching, they are now in an engaged state and can be engaged in combat. Likewise, here's a bit more of an extreme example where the Nox Trooper is even higher, almost towards the top of the Kappa's cylinder. They are still in an engaged state and are still able to get into close combat. However, as soon as you're in a situation where your two cylinders cannot touch, it is impossible for you to get into an engaged state and you cannot go into close combat. What is close combat? Basically, you bash each other with a range of weapons varying from knives to mandibles to monofilament weapons that rip you out from the insides. It's all great fun. All while seeing the whites of the enemy's eyes, or the flash of their tentacles if you're fighting the Combined Army. Close combat is able to happen when two troopers are in an engaged state, as long as their cylinders are touching and both players are in a non-null or immobilized state. They're in an engaged state. Are there any other rules about being in an engaged state that you need to know about? Many, but the main ones are that troopers in this state can only declare a CC attack, dodge, idle, reset, and skills that specifically say they can be used in close combat or in an engaged state. Troopers in an engaged state cannot trace line of fire outside of their close combat. You can be shot at while in close combat, but additional special rules apply. Template weapons targeting someone in close combat hit everyone that's in close combat. If you dodge while in close combat, you may cancel close combat by moving away via a successful roll. If you do so, you must leave contact, moving up to 2 inches away. So the wording might not seem super clear on this, but many models have a bonus movement to their dodge. If you're dodging out of close combat, you can apply that distance modifier as well. If you can't make a valid move out of an engaged state, then you will remain in an engaged state without moving. So that's even if you successfully dodge, if you cannot make a legitimate move, you've got to stay in an engaged state. As the active player, you'll activate the trooper, you'll spend an order on them, and you'll use your first short skill to move into silhouette contact with your target. You'll then wait for their ARO, and then, depending on what they declare, you'll probably declare a CC attack with your second short skill. But you can choose to dodge your way into close combat too. So this is a slightly unusual situation, where even as the reactive player, if your 2-inch dodge would take you into silhouette contact with an enemy, you're more than welcome to use that 2-inch move to get into an engaged state. Obviously, some models can move further than 2 inches when they dodge, and that extra move distance can easily get them into an engaged state with an enemy trooper if they so wish. So watch out for that. It could be a bit of a tricksy move, but it will be a good one if you can use it. So it's as simple as that. You can short skill move into an engaged state with an enemy trooper, or you can dodge your way into close combat. So now that you're in close combat, let's look at how fighting happens. In this example between the Kappa and the Nox, we're going to assume the reactive player chooses to ARO CC. I'll demo 2 other options next to show you how that would work as well, but we'll get the close combat out the way first as that is the focus. What's happened here is the first short skill has moved the Kappa into contact, then the Nox Trooper has decided to ARO CC attack, And then the Kappa has decided to use their second short skill to do a CC attack back. When we look at the stats, the Kappa has a CC attribute of 14 and is equipped with a standard CC weapon. The CC weapon, when we look at it, is damage pH, which means it's the user's pH value, and is burst 1. So you'd roll 1 dice. The Nox Trooper is CC 15 and has the same CC weapon as the Kappa. The Nox's pH is 10, which is the same as the Kappa's, so that's the damage of the weapon. There are no modifiers to apply because there's no cover and nothing else that we can apply. So we're just going to be rolling against their CC ability. The Kappa is looking for a 14 or lower, and the Nox is looking for a 15 or lower. These are straights because these are unmodified attributes. We have a winner, and now the opponent has to make a save against the damage. With the attacker's pH value of 10, it needs to roll higher than that if it's going to survive. It fails, so it loses 1 wound. And because it only has 1 wound, it goes into an unconscious state. Because the opponent is now in a null state, the models are no longer in an engaged state. So let's rewind a little bit and look at 2 other ways that this could have resolved. The order is spent. The Kappa uses its first short skill to move into silhouette contact with the Nox, and the target chooses to ARO BS shoot instead with its combi rifle, choosing the moment before the Kappa got into contact. Now it can do that because all of this is happening at once, so the AROing model chooses when it resolves its ARO, which it can do at the start of the enemy's movement, or at the end, depending on what suits it best. So in this case, it's still a face-to-face roll, like before, but while the Kappa is attacking on their CC attribute, the Nox is attacking on their BS attribute. The Kappa has no modifiers because it's in close combat. The Nox is actually +3 for range on the combi rifle, which brings its BS skill up to 14. They roll at the same time, with the Kappa looking for CC 14 or lower, and the Nox looking for BS 14 or lower. Now, as you can see, this wouldn't be a sensible decision, because the Nox has gone from a CC 15 attack to a BS 14 attack. So this is important when you're making your decision, as you obviously want to use the attributes that are going to give you the best chance of success. So let's look at another option. In this case, the Nox could have dodged. The face-to-face rolls work exactly the same as the BS and the CC attacks. The Kappa is still looking for 14 because it's still doing a CC attack, but the Nox Trooper is using its pH attribute to make a dodge, so it's looking for 10 or lower. As you can see again, this would be a poor choice because a 10 is much lower than the 15 the Nox had available for a CC attack. What about getting out of close combat or an engaged state? Okay, so let's say you're tied up in close combat or an engaged state and you really don't want to be in it any longer. Well, you can't move out of close combat. The only way you can get out of close combat is by dodging your way out of it, so long as there's room for you to move up to 2 inches away on a successful roll. You can kill your way out of close combat or an engaged state, but you just can't walk out of it. Interestingly, if an enemy model moves into your zone of control while you're in an engaged state, you still are able to do a valid ARO. You'll remember, when something walks within your zone of control, you get an ARO, even if you can't see it. In certain circumstances, this is going to be great, especially if you're in an engaged state that you don't want to be in. Let's say, like this Omega, it walks within the Nox's zone of control, so the Nox gets a valid ARO. It chooses to dodge. It succeeds its dodge roll and moves 2 inches away. It's now out of an engaged state and could now potentially engage either the Omega or the Kappa. This would be a great outcome for the Nox, so you might want to be thinking twice about moving things within the zone of control of something that's in an engaged state. That's most of the basics of close combat and engaged states out of the way. You know how to get into close combat, you know what to do once you're in there, and you know how to get out of it. You also know what you're allowed to do when you're in an engaged state and what you're not allowed to do. So let's make things a little bit harder. Let's look at close combat with multiple models. Okay, so let's say things aren't going very well for the Kappa, and his mate has come along to help out. The additional Omega moves into silhouette contact with the Nox and awaits any AROs. The Nox's ARO options are pretty limited. It can CC attack, dodge, idle, or reset, but you're going to choose one of the first 2. Now it loses the BS attack option because it's in an engaged state. Strategy-wise, dodge isn't the worst option right now, but we'll choose a CC attack. Because the Omega has a friend in silhouette contact with its target, Omega gets +1 burst to its CC attack. So this now means that whereas we would usually only get 1 burst with their close combat weapon, this one now has 2. So the face-to-face roll now resolves with rolling 2 dice. You're allowed a maximum of 4 models in silhouette contact with a model on a 25mm base, and 6 models in silhouette contact with a model on a 40mm base. You still with me? That's good. By understanding how attacks with multiple models work and how basic close combat works, you've basically passed Close Combat 101 for Code 1. So well done. If all you wanted was a basic understanding, then you can stop here, because the next bits are going to start to get a little bit more complicated. In the next section, we're going to look at camouflage and surprise attack and how that affects close combat interactions, and then go on to more complex rules. One thing I do want to leave you with before we go is coup de grace. So you can perform a coup de grace kill on an unconscious model or a model in Shasvasti embryo state by declaring a coup de grace kill during a CC attack. It's a short skill on the model. There's no need to roll for this, and the model is removed from the table once this is completed. No rolling, nothing required, they're immediately removed from the table. Feel free to look up coup de grace a bit more, but there are some missions and some circumstances where you might consider doing that. So that's the basics of close combat covered. Thank you so much for watching, and look out for the next video which will go into more advanced tactics. Feel free to follow me on Instagram if you like to see models being painted, if you want to see some behind the scenes shots, and don't forget to click subscribe if you want to stay up to date with new videos as they get launched. Thanks for watching, and see you again shortly.